Good morning, everyone. I'm Devashmita and welcome to Jigyansa. In the previous video, we have already discussed about the different parts of even different branches of the biology and different types of the research institutes and botanical gardens. So, today we are going to discuss with the classification and the diversity of the plant kingdom, and today we just know about what are the different types of the classification and what are the different types of the plant kingdom. Today we just know about all those things. So let's start. So on the basis of the living organism, we just classify into all those organism into the categorized into two types. One is plant, another one is animal. And then on the basis of the kingdom, then it is of two types. It's we just normally called as the plant kingdom, and another one is the animal kingdom. So on the basis of the classification, there are the large number of the plants in this universe and differing from each other. You already have seen in the nature that maximum on the angiospermic plants have different leaf structure, and it may be taller, it may be shorter in height, and some types of the trees are very thick, and some of trees are very weak in nature. So all those things on the basis of the classification, they are categorized and they are placed into different positions. So today we just know about what are they. So on the approximate number of known in the species in the plant kingdom is about first of all, what is the kingdom? Is the kingdom is the topmost level and the higher categorization of the plants, even animals, in case of the animals also. So in the hierarchical basis, we just consider as the kingdom is the topmost classification, or placed in the higher place. So then a kingdom is then classified into sub kingdom, then division, subdivision, all those things. Then it is not possible to study this huge variety of the plant species without arranging and dividing them into the smaller groups or the subgroups. And this system of the dividing and arranging the organisms into the different groups or subgroups on the basis of the similarity and the dissimilarity is known as the classification. So what is classification? We just see in the nature that some maximum types of plants, we just consider on the basis of the leaf type, on the basis of the fruit types, on the basis of the flower types, but we cannot calculate all those the plants and that plants members either on the basis of the similarities or dissimilarities. But so we just consider in a group, so this is not as the on the basis of the similarities and dissimilarities, we just group and subgroup into the different groups and the subgroups, and this is known as the classification. And what is the purpose of the classification of the living organism? because because to facilitate identification of the unknown species, this is the first one, the classification. Why we need about the classification? Because it facilitates the identification of the unknown species, because even we just consider about one group of the species, and but we don't know its actual name, actual particular class or subdivision or division. Then its morphological, on the basis of its morphological character, we just consider as that in the previously classified any one of the plants, and we just consider under it. Then comes to it to help in knowing the relationship among the different group of the organisms, to evolve the origin and to trace the evolution of the species. We just know about the evolutionary lines, that is from lower to higher members, and that's why we just in the class on the basis of the classification we evolve the origin and to trace the evolution of the species. We just know about how organisms evolve from one generation to another generation, or one species to another species. We just evaluate them easily or effectively. Then comes to the method of classification of the organism into the different groups or the clades on the basis of the evolutionary as well as the genetic relationship is called as the cladistic. So what is cladistic? It's a family-like tree. Family-like trees from since it's evolutionary. We just consider and each branches in a particular tree. There are so many branches from lower to higher. So that's why from older to newer. And as such type, that each branches or each group, different groups, is known as the clade, and on the basis of the evolutionary as well as genetic relationship. And what is cladistic? We just classify them or consider them on the basis of different groups, different class, or different clades, on the basis of their evolutionary as well as the genetic relationship, and this is known as the cladistic. Then comes to the taxonomy. What do we mean by taxonomy? And Epi de Candolle, in his book friends, he is a French botanist, and he wrote his book, that is the Theories Elementary de Botanique. In his books, the taxonomy includes the identification, nomenclature, and the classification of the individuals. So what is taxonomy? Taxonomy means the first we just identify that plants, then it's the naming of the plants, that is the nomenclature, then we classified all that plants who have already we just which plants we have identified, even nomenclature, and after that we just classify them of that particular individual's plant species, and this is known as the taxonomy. So here we just presenting some fundamental classification. It may be some different according to different botanists. The plants is considered into the different types. First of all, we just see about the Eckler's classification, what he told about the classification. um, A.W. Eckler in 1883 gave the classification. According to plant kingdoms, according to the Eckler classification, it is of the two. First of all, you just consider the kingdom. Kingdom is the higher most hierarchy, placed as the higher most of the hierarchy. So it's under plants is under the kingdom Plantae, and it have two sub-kingdoms like cryptogamy, then phanerogamy. What do we mean by the cryptogamy and phanerogamy? We just consider in the next slide. We just discuss them. Then cryptogamy, just we have already discussed about that. Cryptogams means seedless plant. The whole plant kingdom is divided into two types. One is cryptogam, another one is the phanerogram. One which have seedless plants, which are flowerless, and the seedless plants is known as the cryptogamous. And phanerograms, which those plants which bear the flower and fruit, flower and seed. So these are known as the cryptogams and phanerograms. So then cryptogams is further divided into three divisions. One is Thallophyta, Bryophyta, and Pteridophyta. And the Thallophyta then further divided into algae and fungi, because they have thallus-like structure. That's why they are known as the Thallophyta. Then Bryophyta, then Pteridophyta. Then comes to the phanerogamy. Then phanerogamy, it is of two types. One is here in case of the cryptogams there is no flower and no seed, but in case of the phanerogam there is presence of the seed and fruit. Both are present in case of the phanerogam. But the phanerogam also then further divided into gymnosperm and angiosperm. In case of the gymnosperm there is a naked seeded plant, and in case of the angiosperm there is the coated. So in case of the angiosperm it is also divided into monocotyledon and dicotyledon. So monocotyledon means one cotyledon and dicotyledon means two cotyledon. So here is the brief elaboration of that two sub-kingdoms or that classification, that is the kingdom Plantae. And here you can see that this is the kingdom Plantae, and divided into Thallophyta and Embryophyta. Thallophyta means plants without vascular tissue. That's why this is Thallophyta. And Embryophyta means the plants with embryo is known as the Embryophyta. So it is then consider, we have already further divided into Thallophyta as algae and fungi, and it's a Bryophyta and Pteridophyta. Then consider about the algae. In case of the algae, it's algae and fungi. Then they would algae also divided into the various phylum, also fungi also divided into various phylum. Then it comes to the Bryophyta and Tracheophyta in case of the, because it's have the presence of the with vascular tissue, but in case of the bryophytes there is no vascular tissue. And the bryophytes are then divided into three classes. One is moss, then liver oat and horn oat. And the moss, then then liver oat is already otherwise known as the Hepaticopsida, and then hornwood is otherwise known as Anthoceratopsida. Then it is then Tracheophyta. In case of Tracheophyta, it is also pteridophytes. Then it is then divided into Coelophyta, then Lycophyta, Spanopsida, then Pteropsida, on the basis of their classification and their evolutionary gender, and modified of their presence or absence of some developed form of the tissue. It is also classified into various types. Then Pteridophyta also divided as the Felicini or the fern, then Gymnosperm, naked seeded plants, then Angiosperm. According to the presence of the vascular tissue, it is categorized into three different types. One is fern, then gymnosperms, then angiosperms. We have already we have discussed in the further video or the next video of all those things. So this is the most this is just a basic idea about the classification of the kingdom, the different types of the class. Let's comes to the some character of cryptogram and phanerogram, what are actual character, and which type of what are the different characters considered. If a plants have a different character, then we just consider it is it is a cryptogram or it is a phanerogram. So let's see what are they. So in case of the cryptograms, it derived from two Greek words, that is the cryptos. Cryptos means hidden and gammas means meres, or it means flowerless or the seedless plants. The reproduction is by spores, and it is divided into three divisions, that is the thallophyta. On the thallophyta, there is a thallus means young shoot, phyton means plants. The plant body is not differentiated into true roots, stem or the leaves, so that's why this is known as the thallophyta. In case of the algae and fungi, whenever you see about in case of the some algae like the nostoc, anavenna, sorry, nostoc, some ectocarpus, chlamydomonas, all those bruglinania, cyanobacteria, all those things under the algae. And in case of the fungi, like you already see yeast, aspergillus, astilago, alternaria, penicillium, mucor, rhizopus, all those things, you just see that there is no no differentiated into true roots, stems and the leaves. So there is the absence of the true root, stem and leaves. That's why this is known as the thallophyta. So and it is considered, and it is divided into the algae and fungi. Then comes to the bryophyta. Then comes to the bryophyta. So in it's some higher member. We just whenever we just study about the evolutionary scale or evolutionary line from algae to angiosperm, from algae then fungi, then bryophyte, then pteridophyte, then gymnosperm, then angiosperm, on the basis of their development evolutionary scale, or that their development of the plants. That's why we just study on a serial on a sequence. So let's come to the bryophytes. Or in case of the bryophytes, uh, bryophytes, the bryophytes are, sorry, in case of the bryophytes are the bryos means moss and the phyton means plants. The moss like plants, that's known as the bryophytes. Then this is known, otherwise known as the amphibians of the plants kingdom. These are the non-vascular land plants which grow in the moist and the sandy places. And here some interesting things, that is the bryophytes are the also called as the amphibians of the plants kingdom. Why this is known as the amphibian of the plant kingdom? Because likewise the amphibian, for example amphibian like the frog, they require they complete their life cycles, both reproductive and vegetative also, then required both of the land and the water. That's why these are known as the amphibians. So in case of the bryophytes, they also require to complete their life cycles, both the land and water habitats. That's why this is known as the amphibians of the plant kingdom. So some examples of bryophytes like moss, Rixia, Markansia, Funaria, Sphagnum, Polytrichum, Pogonatum, all those things. So here is the vascular tissue. Like vascular tissue means the xylem and the phloem. We know about that. The xylem is the water conducting tissue and the phloem is the food conducting tissue. That's why these are the vascular tissue. But here in case of the bryophytes, the xylem and the phloem, that is the vascular tissue, are absent. And the sex organs like the multicellular and jacket layer having the sterile jacket. And water is necessary, already we have discussed about it, because they are vegetative and they are reproductive. The two types of the cycles both are required the water, and they complete their life cycles requiring both the land habitat and the water habitat. That's why this is known as the amphibian of a plant kingdom also. And zygote zygote is the resting periods, the divide and the redivide, and the embryo and the sporophytes and the sporogonium. Then it is divided into two classes. One is Hepaticopsida, and then another one is the mouse. Hepaticopsida means it is also called liverwood. And normally, so maximum cases we just study about three types of bryophytes. That is the Hepaticopsida. Then we just Hepaticopsida, otherwise known as commonly known as the liverwood. Another one is the hornwood, and that is the moss or the funaria. Moss, the commonly called the moss, mossy or the moss. Their plant body is the foliose-like structure, and funaria, sphagnum, all those things under the moss. Then comes to the pteridophyta. Pterido means feather or the fan-like structure. We just see about the all those in the sandy places and wet places. Maximum cases in they can grow easily. So feather-like leaves or the fronds, these are known as the pteridophyta or the pteridophytes. The first vascular land plants, these are called as the vascular cryptogams. Why this is known as the vascular cryptogams? Because in the previous, just we have already talked about the bryophyta, because there is absence of the vascular tissue, but here is the present of the vascular tissue. That's why this is known as the vascular cryptogams. And first vascular land plants, otherwise known as the first vascular land plants, because the presence of the xylem and phloem in this case, and these are known as the snake of the plant kingdom. So amphibians of the plants kingdom, the bryophytes are the amphibians of the plant kingdom, but pteridophyta are the snake of the plant kingdom. Snake of the plant kingdom. So the main characteristics of the pteridophyta, they are different into root, stem, and the leaves. They have two roots. So this is known as the uh, uh, pteridophyta. So it's in this pteridophyta there are two types of the spores you can find, that is homosporous, and one is homosporous, another one is the heterosporous. That is homosporous means similar type of the spores, and heterosporous means two different kinds of the spores, and it is divided into various types, all those things. Then comes to the phanerograms. What are the phanerograms? What does mean phanerograms? Already we have known that is the flowering and the seed plants. This is known as the phanerograms. Also known as the spermatophyta, because of the sperma means seed and phyta means plants. That is seed bearing plants is known as the spermatophyta. Then it is also two types. One is gymnosperm, another one is the angiosperm. Gymnosperm means the naked seeded plant. Naked seeded plants, likewise cycas, spinous, all those things. And angiospermic plants, rest of the plants, that is the encased or the seed, that is covered seeded plants. Covered seeded plants, example mango, then wheat, maize, all those things. Then these are the then it is also divided into two types. One is monocotyledons and another one is the dicotyledons. Monocotyledon means having the single cotyledon, like the rice, wheat, maize, etc. And dicotyledon means mango and jackfruit, all those things, uh, guava, all those things, all those known as the dicotyledonous plants. So I think this is the all brief about the classification of the plant kingdom. So in the next video we just know about the different classification of the plants, according it's artificial and natural or phylogenetic system of the classification. So thank you.